Hey everyone, this is Lil Ready from Abstract Music Lab, and today we're back here in the sound design channel. Today we're recreating a Pluck sound called Plucks of Joy, and it sounds like this. This is the sound and the MIDI, so you can check it. Really amazing sound, and again, you can find this on the DIVA Presets Collection Volume 2. This is a part of the Deep Melodic Foundations for DIVA that you can find in that collection, and you can find them both over here in the description below. And let's get started with this tutorial. Let's over here again disable the kickstart and the EQ so we can get a free preset. And this is how it sounds like when we have a raw DIVA. So to start this, we need to make this a little bit higher. We're going to go and start and put this a little bit like this. And we're also going to choose legato over here. Now, for this to work, we're going to use a duo VCO. And in this duo VCO, we're going to start by choosing 16 over here. We're also going to choose a square and a triangle. And you might say to me, Leo, but you made it a little bit lower again. Why? We're going to change the pulse width of this square wave, and this is essentially going to make it higher again, just by modifying it over here. For example, we're going to put this over here to something like this, already making it a bit higher, and we're also making this one go a little bit higher as well to somewhere like this. But we don't want the LFO2 to control this, we want the gate. So essentially every time that you press a note, and you can see that this is already sounding a bit higher as well. Now, in addition to that, we're going to use another VCO. We're going to use it at 8, and we're going to use a saw and a square as an analog 2 shape, and we're going to add a little bit of detuning over here in this second sound, as you can listen over here. You can see that it already sounds a bit detuned over here, and now we're going to start shaping this sound by controlling the envelope over here, the mix, and the cross mod. So first, the envelope 2, we're going to use an analog envelope. It's going to be just over here at 2. This is going to be really short over here, and this is also going to go all the way down more in a plucky kind of feeling. But this is going to have a lot of reverb over here. Since this is not attached to anything, there's no point on just playing it because it's the same sound. We're going to intensify the 30 over here, and we're also going to intensify this over here to something like this as well. Essentially, these two control that the higher that you press and also the more intense that you press, the more intense is this envelope over here. And now this is going to control this over here. This is going to be somewhere around this, which is pretty inaudible what is happening, but it's going to help us also along the way in the cutoff. But in addition to that, we're going to make this mix over here tend more to the VCO2, as you can listen over here, so something like this. And we're going to add a little bit of cross mod to it. We don't really listen to the cross mod yet, but we're going to listen over here now that we're going to change the analog envelope 1. In envelope 1, we're going to change a little bit of the attack. We're going to also change the decay a little bit just to something like this. But we're going to change the sustain all the way down, and this is going to make the sound a bit more plucky, as you can listen over here. Now, with this release over here, you're going to hear a little bit of the cross mod right at the end. Could you hear those? That's essentially what this cross mod is doing. Now the velocity is also going to control this a little bit. And basically that's it, what we're going to do with the envelopes and also with this over here. Now we're not going to introduce any high pass filter, but we're going to introduce a little bit of feedback to it. And you can see by introducing the feedback, the sound becomes a bit more low MIDI, and that's essentially what we want. Now, multi-mode filter, and in the multi-mode filter, we're going to put this cutoff a little bit down. It's going to make the sound really dim. We're going to choose over here a 12 dB curve, and this is going to open the sound just a little bit. But what is going to make a big difference over here is that in envelope 2, we're going to pick this and put this a little bit up. And you can see now the sound going through everything. Now, in addition to that, we also have to add a little bit of resonance and also a little bit of keyboard tracking. Essentially, again, the higher that you play in your keyboard, the more open the cutoff is going to be. In addition to that, we're also going to go here in the LFO2, and this is going to be over here somewhere like this. basically that's it with the LFO2. Now, what is LFO2 doing? Essentially, 0 over here in the phase, 0 over here in the delay as well. And the rate, we're going to introduce this a little bit. And essentially, this is going to speed up the rate that we select over here. The rate that we're going to select over here, just so you can listen, this is how it is at the moment. But now, if we choose a half, could you hear at the end doing a instead of a and that's essentially what we're doing here. Instead over here, we're going to choose triangle gate, and we're also going to put the rate mod over here a little bit higher. And this is going to be controlled by the mod wheel. So essentially, the higher the mod wheel, you can see that we can intensify this rate of this. You can see that we can intensify this rate of this LFO and essentially of the cutoff as well. Again, just so you can listen. Really cool, right? Now we're going to go here in the vibrato section. It's not going to have any vibrato, but we're going to have a little bit of glide. And that's essentially it. We're not going to have anything over here in the fine glide 2 range. And not even over here, but we're going to pick this volume over here that is attached to envelope 1. We're going to make it just ever so slightly. This is going to make the sound a bit quieter. Now in the modification section, the FM cross mod is going to stay as it is. But we're also going to control the VCO mix, as you can hear over here, with the envelope 1. And this is going to go around here. So essentially, every time that the node plays, the envelope 1 is going to trigger and make this lean a little bit more to the VCO 1. But that's essentially it over here with the modifications. Now, we're going to go here into the trimmers. And in the trimmers, the first thing that we're going to do is control the amount of detune. So if we intensify this, listen to how it is now. But listen to it intensified. It just makes the detune amount a little bit higher. If we make this, for example, you can see that the detune is just a bit bigger, but we're going to pick this over here and make it actually a little bit smaller. We're going to leave it somewhere around like this. And we're also going to change the voice drift to something almost like half of it. And just to make the drift between the notes being a little bit smaller as well. And that's pretty much it with these sounds over here. Now we're going to go into the effects section of the sound, just so you can listen as it is now. That's pretty much it. Now we're going to choose first a delay, and then we're going to choose a plate. So essentially what we want is we want the delay sound to be reverbed afterwards and not the other way around. With the delay, as you can see, we're going to keep this at 100%. The center volume is going to keep all the way at the bottom as well. And the side volume is going to go a little bit higher. So we want these reflections a lot, and we also want to intensify the feedback to bring even more reflections. And you can see how much they persist in the sound. And that's pretty much it with the delay. Now we're going to go into the plate reverb, and in the plate we're going to go all the way up with the dry. And we're going to go a bit down with the wet. In addition to that, this is pretty big in terms of the size of the reverb. So we're going to make this size a little bit smaller. And you can see that the reverb is now a little bit more centered. The decay is going to go a little bit higher, so that essentially the reverb is going to be longer. And also the damping is going to go a little bit smaller, so essentially we're going to hear a bit more high ends in the reverb as well. We're going to pick this diffusion and put it a bit down as well. And that's pretty much it with the sound. Essentially, that's pretty much it. If you listen now in context, we're going to activate kickstart, and we're going to activate the EQ8 as well. And if you listen to the sound now in context, again, really cool sound. I hope that you liked this tutorial. And if you did, you can buy this preset over here in the DIVA Collections Volume 2 over here that you can find the link in the description. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you loved it, hit the subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next sound design channel video. This is Leo Loretti from Abstract Music Lab signing off. Cheers.
Hi, this video is sponsored by us. If you like these tutorials and want to support the channel, please check out our website packed with online courses and professional sample packs. Also check our ready-to-use and club-tested Serum presets. You can browse by the genre and style you're looking for, or get the incredible deal with the full Serum preset bundle. Thank you for listening, and now let's get back to your tutorial.